Hello and welcome to Mr. E's Watch Reviews. Today we're going to be doing the full review of the Valimor Kilgharrah. It is the AR001G because it has the gold. Let's see. I just wanted to get some outside wrist shots real fast. I think it's looking right nice out here in the actual daylight. One thing I do really want to say about this watch, there's a bunch of things that, on paper that I normally don't like. Push pin bracelet, um, butterfly clasp, 22 millimeter lugs. But all in all, like, it actually really works on this watch. That, and I don't know what kind of coating that they use on this steel, but I wore this watch all week at work. And I mean, you guys can just see there's not really any scratches, but like, just look at all the beautiful detail on the dial, the gilt around the edge, on the, I don't know, we call it the inner bezel because it's a 3-layer dial. The top layer there, where you see the 60 and the 55 and the 10, you got all the little decorations on it. Then of course you got all the scale, like dragon scales on, the dial itself. Then of course they got the super cool diamond cut sword hands. And then like the more gothic style Arabic numerals. Yeah, I mean, this watch is just full of detail. And like I said, you can't even see no scratches here. I'll take this thing off. Bring it up close so y'all can see. But this is out in broad daylight. And I mean, I'm not saying there isn't any scratches on the watch, but they are minimal. I mean, I'm an auto mechanic, man. Normally, like a week's worth of wear at the shop, and the watch is usually like, I mean, it looks like it's been worn for years. So I don't know. Like they didn't say anything about any kind of specific coating or anything like that. But come on, camera, focus. But the finishing has just held up phenomenally on this thing. I did not get to wear it every single day to the shop. I did let another reviewer borrow this, and they took longer than they were supposed to. But yeah, I mean, this thing looks just fantastic for having been worn and used like it has. It doesn't show any signs of the wear. So, I don't know what they've done to this to make it be like that, but it has to be something because every other watch I own has got scratches galore on it. And just after a week or so. But yeah, like the only thing that I really don't care for is this bezel play. But I mean, that's really the only downside I really see to this watch. Other than that, the design is absolutely beautiful. Like they've done all kinds of cool little details, like the dragons here on the decorated rotor, to like the dragon scales here on the case back. And that's not where you actually grab it to get traction. You can see the little notches here for your case back tool. It's got a quick release bracelet. And I mean, the single domed sapphire gives just a nice little bit of distortion. I mean, it's beautiful. And like I said, typically a push pin bracelet and the butterfly clasp would just turn me off. But here it's not too bad. As y'all can see on my wrist, I actually was able to get a right decent fit. It does get a little bit snug. I wish there was some kind of different clasp system so that way maybe have some different micro adjust and whatnot so you get just a little bit better fit, or maybe some half links. I would really like to have got to check this out with the rubber strap also. Just because I've seen a few other reviewers, they did get the rubber strap, or they got the rubber strap version. One gentleman did get the bracelet and the strap like I asked for, but it does look really good on the rubber strap also. So I would like to have just seen the quality of the rubber myself. The bezel action is not bad. It is a 60 click. And of course, it took me a second, and I was actually watching somebody else's video, and I realized I was lining it up wrong because I kept lining it up there like a dummy. Um, but yeah, and it does line up like it's supposed to. However, you got that little bit of back play, So, like I said, that's really the only thing that's bugging me. But let's go inside, and we're going to check it with the calipers and throw it on the time grapher and see how it's running. The 60-hour power reserve does it, like that is a real deal on this thing, because I have set this watch, off to the side. Like I said, it was still running even though I had loaned it to the other reviewer for a couple of days, and they did not wind it when I got it back, and it was still running, and the time was still set correctly. So that was pretty badass. Most all my other watches we got maybe a 40-hour power reserve, but look at the beautiful sky. Yes, it's just the watch is absolutely gorgeous, especially out here in the daylight. So let me go ahead and throw this thing back on my wrist, grab the camera and all this stuff, and let's go back inside. Oh, whoops. You gotta clasp it to something stupid. There we go. But as you guys can see, it fits to the wrist right nice. It's a little, I gotta wear it a little bit loose because it's either wear it a little loose or it's going to be just way too tight. So I obviously just went with a little loose, but it does fit and conform to the wrist quite nice. Okay, so now we're back inside. I've turned the magnification up just a little bit. Actually, we're going to need to wipe some fingerprints off of this thing, because like I said, I have been wearing it. But you can see that detail that I'm talking about around that outside chapter ring, but all inside the dial. I mean, it's just they went above and beyond on this dial on the inside work. Just, I mean, makes it look so fancy. But yeah, now that we got it inside and got it up under some magnification, you can kind of see a little bit of a scratch there. Let's see, you see some scratches maybe. Yeah, I mean, you see a couple little small fine scratches. Only thing I can figure is that the dragon scales here are actually protecting the links. Would be my best guess, because like I said, you see a couple of scratches there. And again, like I've got the magnification turned way up on the camera right this second. But yeah, I mean, normally any of my other watches, the scratches would be 100 times worse. So I don't know if it's the dragon scales that are protecting it, or if it's they did some kind of coating on the steel. But yeah, I mean, you can see some chips and stuff like that here on the ends, and I might have done that when I was tapping that in. That looks like it came from the sizing, which is one of the reasons why I'm not a push pin fan, because it is real hard to get your bracelet size without marking up the bracelet. It is what it is. Uh, but yeah, so just check out some more of this detail since we got the camera zoomed in. Those dragons there on the rotor, and like I said, that case back, it's just very cool looking, just very ingenious. You know what I mean? Just different. But again, like I said, this is all based off of or inspired by like King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table, all that kind of good stuff. To me, it reminds me of Game of Thrones, just because that's the new stuff. And thank you for everybody that chimed in and told me which show it was, because I've not really ever watched it. But I know it's the most relevant dragon type show they have out there. So let's zoom out a little bit so we can get the measurements. Because last time we went with the measurements that they gave us in the email. So we have a 40.5 millimeter case. I don't know. I think that's catching a little bit on the bezel. We'll go from the back side here. Measure it from the back side. And 39.5 without the bezel. So bezel feels like the little teeth here are overhanging just a tiny bit and catching. Let's see, they said 47 mil lug to lug. We have 47.2. With the way the bracelet hangs, it's like 50.8. Thickness, I'm coming in at 14.7. Let's see, the crown size. Whoops. 7.3 on the crown. This is 22 mil between here. Matter of fact, here, hang on. Pop that off. We'll get the exact size. Yep, 22.1, 22.2. All right. And this one, come on, focus camera. Damn it. Trying to show you all the numbers of it. And this one is 15 out of 50, limited edition. Yep. So that's pretty cool. I got my special serial number on the other side. Come on. There we go. Nice and easy. Not too bad. It'd help if I had a little bit more fingernails. The pins do push relatively easy though. But yeah, like I said, I mean, this watch has an exquisite amount of very cool, very different detail. The watch actually has its own patents over there in the European Union, which again I think is just very, very cool. Because there's a lot of watches that can't say that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, did they do anything miraculous here with the different K-shaped design or anything like that? No, but they did this K-shaped design very well. Like the turn down lugs, the brushing, the polishing, and the finishing is excellent. Would I like to have seen a screw pin bracelet? Absolutely. And something other than butterfly clasp? Yes. But these actually function a lot better than any of the others that I have dealt with. As far as like the butterfly clasp and stuff like that, I was able to get a right good fit. And with this bracelet style, it doesn't really pull my arm hairs. So that was just win-win-win all the way around. So, I can forgive the push pins. Although, like I said, I don't like them because you have a tendency to mark up the bracelet as you're trying to size it to yourself. And like for my instance, I had to go back. I took 4 links out and then I had to go put one back in. So that was just a huge pain in the ass myself, or in itself. So, yeah. The other thing, again, the whole bezel play, like this bugs the shit out of me. And every review I've seen of the watch from every YouTube reviewer, we're all saying the same thing. We're all saying that it's got bezel play. Some people are saying it's not a big deal. Some people are, kind of if I were to be buying this watch for $400, I do not want any bezel play. And I'm just going to say it like that. So, Mr. Raymond, I really enjoy the watch. I think it's excellent. But you got to do something about this. You gotta fix this on the next gen or something. I don't know. You gotta come up with something to fix that, because you know, at the price point with the design and the overall quality of everything, uh, you know, it's worth it. But like that just turns me off so bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like bezel play. But again, this is not a specific dive watch. You know, it's only got 100 meters water resistance, and that is the other thing that is kind of a normal turnoff for me. Is that this is not a screw down crown. This is just a regular push pull crown, which again normally is kind of. But my SKX5 has got the same thing, which was kind of surprising to me on that one also. But you know, the 100 meters water resistance is more than enough for you to go swimming, uh, and be safe and all that kind of good jazz. So it's not an absolute deal breaker, but you know, again, one of them things on paper, I'd have been like, ugh. But the rest of the watch is so cool and so unique, it's kind of, eh, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I would definitely recommend go get one of these, just because I mean it's cool, it's unique, it's a limited run. You know, I mean all that kind of factors into it. The Miyota 8315 in here, uh, you know, like I said, it's not the greatest movement in the world, but it's a good movement. It doesn't feel terrible, but it does feel like a Miyota when you wind it, because it does feel a little gritty. You can always tell a Miyota movement. I don't care. I can always tell when one of them's in a damn watch, because when you go to wind it, it's got a very sandy, gritty kind of feel. Which again, that's not Valimor's fault, other than that's the movement they chose. But again, it has been keeping great time. Matter of fact, let's throw it here on the time grapher. Hold on. My cable is twisted up. I don't want my cable twisted. Set it on there. I got to change the angle of the dangle here. Because this move, its angle of the dangle is 49 degrees. So as you can see, it's actually running right respectable numbers. You know, typically the Miyotas are much like the Seikos, and they allow like plus 40, minus 20 kind of deal. So this one's not running too bad. The beat error is just a little bit higher than I would like. You know, again, that is one of them things. It kind of is what it is. As long as it's not too god awful terrible, you can't complain too much. Again, I can maybe wind this up just a little bit. Let's see. Let's see if we wind it up just a little bit, if that'll improve some. No, looks like it's still about the same. But all in all, quite respectable. Less than 15 plus 15 seconds. You know, it looks like it's been staying around the 10, 12 range for the most part. I did see it go up to 14. But yeah, I mean, it's running very nice. You know, it feels nice. It looks nice. I've actually gotten quite a few compliments on it. You know, just because I guess people hadn't really seen nothing like that before. But yeah, at the shop, you know, my boss, everybody else, they all really like to watch. You know, they really like the way it looks. They're quite impressed with the overall quality and everything like that of it. Um, so yeah, I mean, you know, it really kind of comes down to, you know, can you live with that bezel play? Um, and I mean, you know, if you get the stainless steel setup like this one, I would say it's not bad enough to be a deal breaker. But yes, it bugs the shit out of me. And you know, Mr. Raymond, please fix it. Please fix it. But this is their first attempt, I believe, at a bezel or a rotating bezel watch. So, you know, can't ever expect everybody to get it perfect on the very first go. You know what I'm saying? But thank y'all for watching. Please like and subscribe. I will put the website to Valimor down in the description. And I'll also put down the link to the unboxing video in case you guys would like to watch or hear about all the actual stuff that they wanted me to tell you about. I basically read the email that they sent me to y'all. You know, if you want to just watch the unboxing, skip to the 5-minute mark because, you know, the intro is a little long. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.